Yo, what's going on, everybody? So this is Crag Core, and I'm sitting here again on my sofa with a little message for all of you, because I feel like it's starting to reach a point now where you look around at the world opening back up again after the horrendous, unjustified lockdown, and you notice that people are just living their lives as normal. People are queuing up outside of shops. Nonetheless, they're going and doing their shopping, all right? They've been out, going to places like coffee shops, places that, I don't know, they're not really necessary if you consider that things are apparently supposed to be severe enough to warrant severe measures such as the antisocial distancing and things like these crazy fucking face coverings that don't work and shit like that. So if you think about it, yeah, if this situation was so bad and so terrible and such a threat, okay, it's such a threat to your health, would you be considering going out for a cup of coffee? No, you would not, right? You would be sat in your house, terrified, having shopping delivered, and all of these things that we did in the first lockdown, because that's when it was all fresh. The government was filling our heads full of all of this fear. It was all new, and no one really knew what was going on. The numbers were being hit every day, like on the television, you know what I mean? Like, this and this is how many people are dying, so on and so on. And it was just a fucking terror drill, and we all complied, right? And we all sat there and we was all terrified. We all wore fucking gloves to go to the supermarket and shit like that. Well, not all of us, but a lot of people did. Now, as we move through this, all right, we realize that that's not the case anymore, is it? People are just going out and living their normal lives. People are going to the pub. People are getting drunk. People are fucking doing all these normal things. But at the same time, they're doing it in an abnormal way, such as wearing a fucking face covering to go in a shop, or sorry, in a pub, only to take it off when you sit down. But then when you stand up again, putting it on so you can walk across the room, do what you got to do, and then walk back to your fucking seat and then take it off again. It makes no sense. Think about it. Just please stop and think. It makes no sense. Because if it was that severe that you had to be wearing face coverings to stop a virus going into your body, would you even be out there in the first place? No. No, you would not. Considering the fact that the fucking face coverings don't really cover your face. Them silly screens, them plastic screen things don't do a thing. If this thing is airborne, they say it's like aerosol. It's in the air, you breathe it in. It's like spores. So what's that doing? The air is coming in and out of those things, and the masks, the fucking weave on the face covering mask things, it's too large to stop virus spores. So wearing them is simply a symbol of fear, and it's a symbol of submission. Okay? And that is literally what is keeping this thing going, because as long as people keep doing it, you are allowing the fear to continue so that compliance remains within society. And what I mean by that is, if you take off the face coverings, if you stop anti-social distancing and all of these things, society's just normal. If you stop queuing up to go into fucking Costa to grab a cup of coffee and shit like that, you stop doing all of these track and trace malarkeys, all of a sudden you realise society's normal. The only thing that makes you think that there is anything going on is the visual representations of that, which is things like anti-social distancing and fucking face coverings and these stupid things that don't actually work. How can standing 2 meters away from people stop a fucking virus that's in the air? Shit, man, it's already in the air if that's the case, so you're going to be breathing it in anyway. If you walk past somebody, you know, if they're walking down the street and you're walking behind them, well, it's in the air, isn't it? It's trailing behind them. So what's 2 meters going to do? Just going to take 2 meters before it catches up with you. I mean, for fuck's sake, the masks, they're not stopping anything going in. It's not really stopping anything coming out, apart from moisture and shit, which is creating mildew and a nice warm atmosphere for bacteria to fucking grow. And then you're breathing that back in. You know how bad mold and stuff is for the lungs. It's really bad for you. That's why if you get mold in your house, you're supposed to clean it up, right? So why are you breathing it in right in front of your mouth? But you see, these things, these visual things, these things that are being imposed upon society, these silly measures that are make no fucking sense whatsoever, but people are doing it anyway because they're being told they've got to go back to normal. So they're willing to do it. The problem is, that's the very thing that is stopping us going back to normal. Because those visual things are keeping it going. It allows an excuse for the fucking hierarchy, this fucking shitbox government, to keep putting rules and regulations on society. Because so long as you can see the pandemic, okay, or the representation of it, which is the fucking face covering and people standing 2 meters away and people fucking queuing up outside of shops and fucking lines everywhere saying stay this distance away from people. So long as you can see that, you still perceive that there is something going on. But you take that away and there's nothing going on. Literally, take away those things that don't work, that have got absolutely fucking no bearing on whether or not you will catch a virus or not. And you will realize that the world is currently normal. And the only reason then for those things to be kept in place is for negative reasons against you, the people, and society on the whole, by the people that are imposing them, i.e. the government and those above them that actually make the real decisions in the world. So this is a plea, man. You know, just open your eyes, have a minute to just think about this in the common sense realm of your brain and say to yourself, if it makes no difference, if it absolutely makes no sense, then why am I doing it? And if you can't come up with a reason, then stop. Because if you don't, the world is going to turn to shit and it will be your fault. And it's as simple as that. This is Cragcore signing off. I hope you've enjoyed this video. And I'm going to wish love and peace to all things everywhere. Peace.